And we're going to get started right now. How's everybody doing? Now that we're recording, we have to sound like we're just starting the second and that we weren't chit-chatting for a few minutes.
Great.
And
I'm inviting a nurse tonight that's interested in the business and the product. So,
all right, cool.
yeah.
And
I'm
Patty,
excited.
what you missed is we congratulated Lori for QSC before we started the recording. Yes, we're so proud and excited for her. So is there any one little tip, Lori, that you'd like to give us all? You just made a promotion. Is there something we should know that you did that somebody else might be able to do? You have to unmute yourself if you're not.
Just did. Thank you. I started talking. I was like, oops, I'm not unmuted. I just followed the process. So I made my phone calls. I took advantage of the Blitz opportunities that were there. So that was dedicated time that was very rich for me, just to reach out. One thing I did get a lot of compliments on from the folks I reached out to was I used voice text instead of just the written word. So I got a little more feedback from the voice versus just the words.
Big tip. Not much. That's a big tip. Following the process, meaning that you called out, you asked people to watch videos, you followed up, and you used your voice rather than just typing and texting. So really important. You must have a good sponsor that helped teach you all that stuff.
I have a great sponsor.
That would be Patty for all of you that are watching tonight. So we're going to get started. I really like what we're going to be doing tonight, and it really was inspired by a conversation I had with Patty that was inspired by one of her teammates saying, I'm getting customers, but I don't know how to invite people to join my team. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. But the first thing I'm going to do is what? Who knows? The first thing I'm going to do. Anybody know what I'm going to do? If you know me, you know. I'm going to ask a question. Always going to ask a question. If you know me, that's where I start. So I want you to think about this for a second. My question to all of you is, why would somebody want to join your team? Why would somebody want to join your team? Anybody? Tell me something about yourself or the team you're on that would give them reason for saying, I want to be part of that.
Because we have such an amazing community that lock arms and support each other.
So that's one good reason. We have a community that locks arms and supports each other. What else?
The self-development course, cleverly disguised in a business.
Yeah, so if somebody's interested in personal growth, this is a place they can come to and they don't have to pay to go to the university to get it. It's right here live all the time. What else?
Gives people more financial.
Nice.
Oh, sorry.
What's that, Carrie?
I was going to say it gives people more financial options in their life.
That's why to join the business, but why your business?
Because I can show them a way in which they can achieve that.
Yeah, let's bring it down to the personal. I want you, hopefully you are all writing this down so that when you go to invite somebody, you feel confident because these are all the things that you have to offer somebody. What else?
They get me.
Yeah,
They get my energy. They get my, like, I'm there to help them. And
oh, you really named probably the most important thing, Leslie. They get Leslie. They get your energy. What else about Leslie is so great, Leslie? Grab yourself a second.
that I'm caring and passionate. I want to help them succeed, and I'm going to, help guide them and be on this journey with them.
So she's going to be really supportive. She's got great energy. She's going to guide them along. She loves helping people. Does anybody else feel like you have those qualities?
And she's leading by example.
Yeah, totally. We'll get back to that in just one second. But anybody else feel like they have some of those qualities already? They're kind. They like helping people. They have good energy. They like being supportive. These are all reasons why somebody would want to join you. Before you get out that invitation, read your list about what's so great about you. I think this is a really important piece, everyone. Anybody else want to tell us what's really great about them? Bring it right down to the personal.
I like people.
Was that? Oh, that's you, Lori, right. Lori, you like people. That's a good thing, right? That she's a people person. She likes people. She wants to make friends. Somebody else.
With me, I'm a nurse practitioner, and so then they'll call me about little medical concerns. And so I connect it with the nutrition. Nutrition is so valuable.
So Noreen has a little edge maybe above some of you because she's a nurse and she's also got a PhD in some other nursey things like, I forget. Pardon?
Doctorate in nurse
Doctorate.
practitioner.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so she's got those, but when she said, I know some of those nutrition things, how many of you don't know too much about nutrition? Or you know a little, but you're not an expert. You don't have a title, you're not an expert. Anybody? Yeah, Leslie, Ashley, me for sure. But can you find out the information for somebody? If somebody asks you a question that's something about nutrition that you don't know, can you say, hey, I don't know everything, but I have a community that does. Can I get back to you? Right? You have somebody like Maureen or the videos in your back pocket waiting for you to help other people. Is there anybody on here that feels they're kind? Yeah, I feel like I'm kind. Is there anybody on here who feels like they're generous?
I feel like I'm kind and generous. I want to help everybody. I think I have the support group from all you wonderful ladies,
Exactly.
and it makes me feel comfortable to know that I have the team support. I think that that's a valid thing that we all share in common here, is that we're all kind to one another.
Right. So these are all the things, the qualities that you personally have to offer somebody to help them to reach their next place. So that's the first thing. So we've kind of put a good belief in you yourself. This is just a simple question. Do you believe everyone should be on Juice Plus?
Yes.
Everyone should be on Juice Plus, right?
Yes.
I used to say everybody that swallows should be on Juice Plus. I've now changed it to everyone that swallows and can be on a feeding tube. Because we had my mother-in-law on a feeding tube. She couldn't swallow, but she still got her Juice Plus. Everybody should be, if you're super healthy, should you be on Juice Plus?
Yes.
Why?
Preventative care.
Because you don't know what's coming down the road. So why not take the extra step to do the prevention? And if you're real sick, should you be on Juice Plus?
Yes.
Because you might just fuel yourself with whatever you need for that illness. So those are some very powerful pieces. So how many of you find that for the most part, you're okay reaching out and asking for your friends or family or new people that you've met to look at Juice Plus, the product? Anybody still really struggling with that? And you might be a little bit.
Oh, I am. I have a question.
Yes.
I struggle with trying to find the perfect introduction for each individual. Like I do an introduction and then I doubt myself. And did I do the right one? And I should have done something else instead of this. And I just wanted to add one thing about your other question. I think I'm very fun and I like to have fun with groups of people, not by myself. That makes me work well in a team and bring out the funness in everybody.
Randy, I love that you're fun because that's when we first started this business, this Juice Plus business with this company. The name of our business, it was on our checks. The name of our business was Pure Fun. And the reason we called it Pure Fun is we were having so much fun doing it compared to owning our construction company or any other business we've been in. I would go out and get somebody started and know that they were going to get healthy. And I'd come home and say, well, that was fun. And we named our business Pure Fun. And then we ended up changing it to Well-Being because I didn't think it was professional enough when I talked to doctors. Kind of wished I just left it Pure Fun because it's a what's the name of your business? The second thing that you said is so important. I'm guessing, she says sarcastically, nobody else in here has ever felt like Randy. Raise your hand if you've ever felt like Randy. Put your hand up that you doubt yourself. You're not sure if you have the right introduction. You want it to be perfect. Okay, so number 2 or 7, whatever we're on, that is, so you're not alone. none of us ever feel like we necessarily have the perfect introduction or the perfect video that we're sending. And then we do it and we sort of beat ourselves up afterwards. My suggestion is when you're done, rather than beating yourself up, the first question you ask yourself is, what did I do well? What did I do well on that call? Well, I was fun. I was smiling. I said some things that they understood. There was definitely commonality going on. What did I do not so well? Well, I rushed them. I rushed them into looking at the business, and I should have waited a little bit. I should have gained more trust. I should have had a longer conversation. Now I know what I do well. Now I knew what I didn't do as well. Next time I can focus on that. So that would be my suggestion for you. And there is no such thing as perfect.
Nikki, can I chime in? May I chime in for a minute?
Sure.
So I learned this a long time ago, and I don't only apply it to Juice Plus, but I apply it to everything that I do. And it sits with me every day because I have had doubts, just like Randy Sorrellis here on the chat. But you never, and I think Jeff or Birdie may have shared this, but I don't remember, it just stayed in my mind. You can never, ever say the wrong thing to the right person or the right thing to the wrong person. And I had an experience recently where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I said it this way. And they ended up signing up and I was like, oh my gosh. But I just share that if you have any doubts, just remember, if it's meant to be, it's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go over some processes and some steps. Number one, when you're inviting to look at the business. Now, sometimes I find it easiest to invite somebody that's already on Juice Plus and loves their Juice Plus. Because for me, that's just the easiest start. That doesn't mean that you can't sign up somebody on the product and as a team member at the exact same time. It happens a lot. But when I'm going back and looking through my list of who I'm going to ask to join my team, number one, I think raving fan customers are just typically the easiest place to start. So number one, you just want to check in with them. Hi, how are you? What's going on? Is this a good time to talk? That's just crucial. Do you have a few minutes? Yes, I do. And then the next thing I kind of like to do, of course, is, I was thinking of you today because, and there could be a myriad of reasons. It could be because I know how much you love your Juice Plus. The other day you told me you and the kids were doing so well. Pause. They say yes. And you say, can you remind me what it is that you guys are experiencing? In this conversation now, they need to hear themselves say how much they love their Juice Plus for it to go to the next place, right? They need to hear that. And I will give you an example today of something that happened sort of like that, a little bit different. It was somebody I didn't know, actually. And she said she's looking at both the product and the business. And I'm just saying, I wonder if she's even on tonight. I don't think she is, which would be okay if she was. She's looking at the both, and she said, her and her family eat really well. They're healthy people. They're really healthy people. Because I asked her why she got on the call. What was it about this call? Because it was an exploration or curiosity call to see if she might want to do something with this as a business and take Juice Plus. And I said, why did you get on this call? And she said, well, I'm really healthy, but I'm just kind of curious. I've been watching Ashley and I really like what she's up to. And I said, great, but you said you were really healthy, like really, you do well. Why would you be looking at Juice Plus? And it was funny. She said, well, that's what I wanted to know from you. And I said, well, why would you get on the call? Like, what are you looking for? And she said, well, and then she said, I can't eat the big variety of everything. I go to Costco and they always don't have the fruits and vegetables that I think my family needs. Or the food spoils before we can have a chance to eat it. She listed 3 reasons why she should be considering Juice Plus. I didn't even have to say them. She said everything I was going to say. She said she was healthy. Well, why are you on this call then? She gave me the reasons. I said, yep, that's exactly how I feel. So I didn't have to convince her or come up with anything. Questions are the key to the universe. I think the quality of your life, the quality of your relationships depends on the quality of your questions. So that's just something I want to think about. So number one, I thought about you today because you mentioned, the kids aren't very healthy lately. Tell me more about that. They tell it. Have you found anything that's going to help? I mean, So the kids, I mean, why I love my Juice Plus, because the kids are healthier now that they've been on Juice Plus. You know, they're better. And I'm saying, wow. So have you ever considered, there's a question for you. Have you ever considered sharing the experience your family is having on Juice Plus with any of your friends and family? No, I never thought about it. Really? Tell me about that. Tell me about that. Have you ever considered? Tell me about that. Well, I don't know. It didn't occur to me. And I'd say, well, but you feel that it's a worthwhile, do you feel like Juice Plus is something worthwhile or has value to share? Yeah, I do. I don't know why I never thought about it. So now we have a place to go. Have you ever considered? Or if it hasn't to do, I thought about you today because you said that you're ready to, you've been an at-home mom for X amount of time and you're really ready to get out in the world and help your family with a little, create more income and stuff. Have you ever considered, have you ever thought about, does it get you excited to have maybe a home-based business like I do? Well, I've watched you, but I've never really thought about it. Well, I'd like you to imagine what it might be like for you to have a home-based business. What do you think it might be like? Let them bring to you some of the things that, because when they're doing that, you're going to find out what's important to them. Is all this making sense to everybody? Does anybody have any questions before I go on? Okay, so now the other thing that I also like to do is, you know, especially depending, again, if this would be true for me when I was dropping my kids off at daycare, which was very part-time for a while, and I would be talking to a mom, and a mom would say, gosh, I've got to run off to work right now, and I'm not going to pick my kids up until 5 o'clock. I'm so uncomfortable with the kids being here all day. And then I got to say, I am so grateful. I can just do this 3 days a week because I actually work from home. So I let them come here to play with the other kids and to be socialized, but I pick them up and I don't have to feel rushed and whatever. Oh, really? What do you do? Well, I'm with this wellness company and we figured out a way to help families get healthier. And in fact, kids eat for free. Zip it. What do you do? Would you like more information? So creating curiosity and intrigue in the people that you're talking to. Okay. Now, here's another one. And there's so many choices, everyone. First of all, I'm going to suggest that you go, if you're on boards, you're going to write this down. You're going to go to boards and you're going to the folder on the first page of boards. And on that, it's the folder that says sharing business. And if somebody wants to type this up in the chat, that's great. First, you go to sharing business, and then you go to verbiage and high yield questions, verbiage and high yield questions. And from there, you go to the next folder, which is just high yield questions. And then there's a ton of them. The one that I liked is the one that says right on the folder, best questions. The questions are so good. So what I would do if I were you is I would actually print those questions out and have them next to me. If you find it difficult coming up with your own questions, they're just beautiful ones there that can really help you out. So if you're talking to somebody who's getting started on the product and they're ordering lots, like they're ordering a quad for themselves, and they're ordering a shake or just quads for themselves. At a quad, anybody know how many points you are when you order a quad? Anybody know that off the top of your head?
420.
420. You're at 420. That's almost halfway to Partner Plus. When somebody is that close, that halfway mark to Partner Plus, I am definitely going to bring up our Partner Plus. Okay? Lots of ways to do it. So one way could be, gosh, you know, you're getting enough product that you're with just a little bit more, with having one other person join you, maybe in a little shake order, you can get a 15% discount on all of your product from now on. Is that something you'd like to know more about? Just like that, you can get a 15% because if they become a partner, they're going to get 10%. If they make it to Partner Plus, they're going to get another 5%. So I'm just going to start there. If you were to have somebody else join you and order some product alongside you, maybe you have a buddy that you'd like to do this with, and you can both experience this together and compare notes. Maybe you'd like to even join our shred together and have a buddy that'll be accountable for you. And if the two of you get on the products, it could just be that you could get a 15% discount on our products for the rest of your life. Are you open to learning more about that? Okay, I'm going to stop there and see if anybody has any questions. And is there anybody that feels really uncomfortable with any of this? And let's address it.
I have a question.
Yeah, Miriam?
Yes.
Yeah.
I get overwhelmed and lost on boards.
Okay, I get that.
So if I could, well, for one, if somebody could type in what you were saying, where to go on boards just a few minutes ago
Mhm.
with that information.
I'm going to say it one
And
more
then,
time.
uh-huh,
I'm going to
go
say it
ahead.
one more time. So you go to the first page, you go to the folder, sharing
Uh-huh.
business. And I don't know how fast you are at writing, but folder, sharing business, next folder, verbiage, and high yield questions. You're just going to click right on these folders as I'm saying.
So where it says shared with me and then the heat team.
You're going to go to the heat team first.
Okay.
I just put it in the comments.
Okay.
Oh,
But
okay.
Miriam, I can also see you didn't even know where to start. You're going to go to the heat team boards itself.
Okay.
Okay. From the heat team, you're going to see the first page. The
Okay.
page has like 10 or 12 folders on it. And
Okay.
you go to each folder that I said that is now in the chat. And you can take a picture of that and you're going to find them. And I'm going to tell you, Miriam, I couldn't remember where the high yield questions were myself today. And I laughed at myself. I was looking for it. I know I had just seen them. And so I said, I'm going to write them down for all of you. And there is way a lot on there. So my suggestion is just every once in a while, just go in and play on the boards. Look at a
Okay.
folder, see what's there, kind of make a mental note of it. And then you'll forget about it like I did. And then you'll come back and you'll see it again. It's just kind of, it's a learning curve. But if you just
Okay.
know that, and I wish there were a search button. That would make boards so easy, but there isn't yet. We are asking for one.
Okay.
But
I
it is-
got-
there's a
I
lot
got to
Miriam.
there. I got to
Nikki?
the best questions for deeper conversations.
Yeah, and so Carrie,
I just wanted to say, because sometimes I'll do this, is I just get a little 3x5 card and then just write, whatever you like out of those questions. And it's pretty simple. You could have front to back, and it's small enough you can keep it by your computer or stick it in your, or whatever,
right?
It's just, it's pretty simple. It's easy.
Yeah, that's what I suggest doing. When you see some questions that you really like, the last folder that I said to open was the one that says best questions. That's just my opinion. Somebody else might think there's better ones there, but there is a folder called best questions because I think there's some really good ones in that folder.
Okay.
And then like Carrie said, pull out some of those questions, write it down on an index card, and then keep the questions with you. And, boards can be frustrating, Miriam. I think the problem with boards is that we get overwhelmed and then we don't want to use them at all. If you know that we all felt like that, but then once we got used to using them, it got better. Does that help?
It does. Thank you. And I kind of get overwhelmed also because of all the other communication apps that I have to deal with every day for other things.
I can imagine. I know it isn't easy.
But no, there's a lot of valuable information on here. I'm very appreciative of it.
Yeah. And you know what? I guess if it were easy, if this whole business were easy, everyone would do it. It's just the special people that really want to make a difference that are willing to go through that learning curve to make a difference. If everybody wanted to do this, then this wouldn't actually work so well as a business. So anyway, I'm just going to stop there for a second. Another thing that I'd like to do is, okay, thought of you because whatever you know about them. But then there's another piece. You can also do, I thought of you because, and then compliment them in some way. Talk about a quality of theirs that you like. So for example, maybe you don't know enough about them to know that their kids are sick or that they're looking for a home-based business or whatever. But what you do know about them is every time you're with them, they make you smile. You don't even know them that well, but there's something about that person that you delight in, or that you respect, or that you honor in some way. And you call, I was thinking about you today because Randy, I love that you're kind and generous, but mostly I love that you love to laugh. That's really important to me as well. And so I was just thinking about that we had some stuff in common. And I have no idea if what I'm going to say is going to be of interest to you. But if you did, I think we would have fun working together. Okay, I gave her a compliment. I told her what we liked. I told her what we have in common. I have no idea if this is something for her, and I'd like to share it with you. And she says, well, yeah, tell me what you're thinking. I would then go into some questions. I wouldn't tell her what I was thinking. I'd say, hey, Randy, have you ever considered having any kind of a home-based business? Is that something that you've ever considered in your life? And play with me here, Randy. So have you ever considered that?
Yes.
So what about it intrigued? Did you ever do anything? Did you ever decide to have a home-based business?
I have my own business and I work out of home. I'm a
Okay.
licensed neuromuscular massage therapist.
So you're a massage therapist?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I didn't know that. So I imagine, what are some of the things that you, besides the actual working on bodies, I'm assuming you like being a body worker and helping people out.
Yes, I love what I do. I get immediate feedback, whether it be verbal or body language. I don't have to wait a very long time to know that I've made a positive impact on their life.
I have a million questions in my head right now that Randy, we could go down this great road. Does anybody else was struck with what they might ask Randy next? Anybody? Noreen, were you trying to say something? I'm not sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
what would you ask her?
I had a business of my own with hypnosis, and it was a great time to introduce nutrition with whichever stage, they were going in. And my business really boomed, sharing my Juice Plus business with my hypnosis business.
Wow. So I love what Noreen did. She did a commonality. I had hypnosis business, but she went right into Juice Plus. We want to give it some more time. So I might have said, if this is okay with you, Noreen, gosh,
Absolutely.
I had a hypnosis business, and I kind of felt the same as you did. I could see that when something good was happening, it was because of me, and it was really fun. I loved being able to do that. So you're making concrete what you have in common, okay, before you jump into Juice Plus. And she may not even know about Juice Plus. So that you brought nutrition in might go, what are you talking about? So then I might do something like, so your clients really trust you with their bodies.
Yes.
Right? You to work on them. So do they ever ask you anything about nutrition?
They ask me about a lot of things. I'm their psychologist and anything else that they need. I'm very careful. I'm not allowed to diagnose anything. However, I definitely, I can share my humble opinions about things, and I don't have, well, I'm going along with you. I do Juice Plus, obviously.
So the question really is yes or no. Do they ever ask you about nutrition?
Yes, they do.
Do you ever give them any ideas?
Yes, I do.
And I understand.
And I give them water at the end of every session too.
Oh, okay, great. Also, you're already giving them water, and sometimes you'll tell them what to do. So, I have a number of friends that are massage therapists. And have we ever talked? I can't remember, Randy. Have I ever told you what I do with nutrition?
No.
So I thought about you specifically because you're a massage therapist, and I have a number of friends that are massage therapists, and they feel like you do. They love having their home-based business. But at the end of the day, at the end of the year, at the end of a few years, sometimes they're concerned about their own bodies and will they be able to do this for a long period of time? Have you ever felt like that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I mean, you can see where I'm going. At that point, I say they found something that's really helped make a difference for them, but their clients as well. It's just about fruits and vegetables. If I were to send you a little video on that, would you be open for it?
Definitely.
Because I can see what happened with them is they added that to what they were currently doing. It reduced some of their hours of being massage therapists, even though they loved it. but they could offset it. So in days when maybe their hands weren't working as well, or their back, or they needed to take time off, because the only time you're making money as a massage therapist is when you're actually massaging. So they were looking for something a little bit more residual. Does that get you a little bit excited?
Very excited.
So thank you very much, Randy. So you can see, though, I'm not going to bring up anything until I know that she's thought of having a business maybe, or that she's ever talked about nutrition with her people. I'm going to dig deep before I bring up what I'm doing. And I know that I've been doing this a long time. And so you may think, well, you're an expert, it's easy for you. It's just practice. It's practice, practice, practice. If every time they say something, you ask a question, no matter what they say, you ask a question, you will get, you'll learn how to become a good master asker. Yeah, and Ashley, and you got to unmute. And I know
Yes.
our time is up, so.
Yeah, last question. So if they said no, I've never had a home-based business, what would your next question be?
But is it, and I know you've got kids, and let's just pretend, are they working outside the home right now, Ashley? Like, give me something about them.
No, they're stay-at-home mom.
You're a stay-at-home mom. No, I never have. Is that because, tell me why, tell me more about how come you've never considered that? Well, I've got 4 kids and I'm too busy. Now I know that she feels like she's too busy. I have to weave in how this could work, right? I've never thought about it. Does the idea, if it's something that you could fit in on your time with the kids that you have, would you like to be able to create more income for your family? Would that be something that would be of interest to you? So now I'm going to bring up a specific, and she says, yeah, well, I just never thought about it that way. Okay. So I know that we've gone over time tonight, and I apologize for that, but this is kind of a big one, the inviting to the business. So check out boards for really great questions. And then, you know, if you need more time, ask your upline and start practicing on everyone you know. Put little role play scenes together. Call your upline, call a buddy, call a sideline buddy and say, let's pretend this is what we're doing. And then each, you know, help each other and support each other in getting better by learning to ask more questions. All right. Tomorrow night.
Nikki, which book are we studying?
Tomorrow night, just a second. Tomorrow night, which is Tuesday night, we are having our celebration for the cotton team at 6 o'clock, but at 5:40, if you're in the madness, March Madness, we have a call at 5:40 tomorrow night, and then a 6 o'clock for a team call if you're in the Cotton Club. The following week, we have Team Madness thing at 5:40 again on Tuesday, but Brandy Foss is going to be writing your own new story. I think it's going to be amazing. You're going to want to tune in. All right. So did you have a question, Noreen?
Which book are we studying from on this invite? Are we studying?
Well, you know, there's you could look at the GoPro book, you could look at Ditch the Pitch, or you could look at the Story Brand. One of those 3. These are none of out of a book. These are just out of me for 32 years. And
Thank you. I love it. Thank you.
All right.
The book of Nikki.
Everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Have a
Good
great
night.
week.
Thank you, Nikki.